Alright, what is up, everybody? This here is Chakuu, also known as Shadow Chakuu on YouTube. But on StarCraft 2, on Battle.net, I am known as Chakuu. And this actually will be my first cast that I've ever done. And this replay that we are currently watching is a collective replay. It's part of the clan that I am a part of with other people such as GreYMisT, which you see here is the Teal Terran, over here in the 9 o'clock position on Lost Temple, and Zubrus, who is the pink Zerg, down here in the 6 o'clock position. Now, I have not watched this replay to begin, and though when I was talking with GreYMisT and Ikani, I think it was last night, they were casting some games, and I mentioned that I wanted to get into casting, and because of this, they actually sent this replay to me saying that I really should cast this as my first cast, and that's about, and you know, saying that they needed a good first impression about it, because apparently Ikani didn't want to cast it because he had already seen it, but Zubrus is at the start sent his overlord over to the 6 o'clock position, which probably is something I would have done as well, and ended up finding Grey. Grey had already sent his scout out. But before really any action goes on, as you see, Grey is playing down his barracks, and I'm pretty sure right after this barracks will finish, he will probably be dropping a supply depot right about here to actually seal off his full wall. And it looks like, alright, it looks like Zubrus has done a 14 hatch to start out with, and getting 2 more drones, and he's got his spawning pool started. So he went 14 hatch, 14 pool, followed up by a gas. And yes, that is correct about Grey. He did place a supply depot there to finish his wall off. And he has also had a second barracks in the making. All right, well, just so you know, tell you guys a little bit about myself. Like I said, my name is Chakuu. I haven't been playing StarCraft 2 very long, but I did play StarCraft 1, both regular and Brood War. So we shall see how I end up doing. But no, I'm actually a Silver League player. I'm about 1,301 points, I think, right now. I think I'm like 32nd in my division. But as most people would say, points don't really matter, because they don't. Merely you play enough, you get points. And Grey is pushing out. There are 2 Zerglings here that'll find these Marines in SCV. We got a little bit of action going on. 1 Zergling got picked off, and the other's still running. These other 2 Marines that are going to reinforce the first 2 are going to pick that off. Yes, they do. And a spine crawler is actually going down for Zubrus. Though, will it finish in time? This is actually, you don't know, I actually play Zerg myself. Well, I did, and he pulled drones off the line. Well, I did play Protoss for the longest time. And I decided to swap to Zerg just merely due to me liking their mechanics a little better. But Grey did get the bunker down in time. But the SCV has been destroyed. 2 Queens and a spine crawler are now pulling in. And that bunker will go down, followed by those Marines. So it looks like that early aggression was actually held off very well by Zubrus. Alright, moving on. As I think I already mentioned it, but just to make sure that it was heard. Yes, I am a silver player. Like I said, 1,300 points, roughly. I am part of the clan collective. I have been a part of them for a while now. I believe 3-4 months. And they're actually a great group of guys. I have played with Ikani. I have played with Grey before. And I'll tell you, Grey is a tough customer to beat. At least right now. Hopefully one day I'll beat him, but we'll see. And so let's see, we've got Metabolic Boost coming up and the Zergling Scout coming in. With Grey throwing down a bunker. Oh, what is this? You know, a few more Zerglings just moving about the map, getting the watchtowers. Always good to get the watchtowers. Any StarCraft 2 player, especially on this map, will let you know you want to get those watchtowers because you want to have map vision. Though, I know I am guilty of this. These overlords that are just kind of sitting right here. You know, the overlord's sitting right here. Though this overlord isn't too bad. But, you know, the overlords that are just kind of sitting right, you know, all through here, you need to get them out across the map. I know I'm guilty of it. I don't do it. I have a thing about sacrificing units that cost me supply. But they need to get out because they will give you vision. If nothing else, once you get the lair, you know, once you upgrade your main hive into a lair, which is what's happening right now. Oh, and STEM's actually being researched. There's a factory's almost being done. But once you get the lair, they'll be able to generate creep. And once they're able to generate creep, you can very easily, you know, just line them up and create what is known as a creep highway. And it'll, because for those that don't know, which I'm pretty sure most would, creep itself actually gives your units a speed boost to be on it, as well as it gives you vision. Yeah, so the closer you can get your creep to your opponent's base, the better. And it seems that Zubrus is actually doing fairly decent on his macro and his spawning larva. Even the queen's energy is real low. And 2 more overlords spawn with another one coming here. And 7 roaches are coming up. But though, oh, Terran weapons +1 and stem pack. Though 7 roaches, more roaches, maybe. But 7 roaches against this, I don't think he'd break it. To be completely honest, I believe that I would think that once they would get here, the 4 Marines in the bunker, plus the, let's see how many Marines are there. Quite a bit actually. The 10 Marines would, plus the 2 Marauders, would just chew through the roaches, especially the Marauders, because they do massive damage to armored. But yeah, they do 20 damage to armored opponents, and I think with +1 they actually end up doing like 22. So the Marine just nipping away at the roaches plus the Marauders, just pounding. 2 more Marauders join the fight, and we got Siege Tech coming in for Grey. But and there's the Siege Tank. Just making sure he is making it and not just making Siege Tech to get Siege Tech. Oh, when we have a Baneling's Nest. And looks like Zubrus is breaking his rock barriers. Oh, and we have someone that left again. The gang is actually a new member for the collective. But and then there's Zubrus and Grey kind of just, you know, a little chit-chatting and whatnot. Oh, it looks like he also has a queen here, out here just for spawning creep tumors, which is actually really good, something that I need to do. Because my creep, while my creep spread isn't horrible for my game level, the fact that my creep spread takes me so long, like by this time I might have my creep out to, I don't know, I'd say about here rather than all the way out here. And yes, he is definitely going to see this push right here. I really do like this tank placement with the, and we have a major battle. Zerglings just melted away with those roaches coming, actually trying to fight off. Yeah, that tank will go down. And we have another reinforcing tank, though. He's not going to be able to siege up in time. And it will fall as well. And it looks like the Zerg will, oh, the Zerg is retreating. Nope, it's coming back to the attack. We might be able to actually push and hold this attack off. Will those 2 Marines die? Yes, they will. And those roaches actually were able to hold off that attacking force. When we've got missile attacks level 1 coming up for Zubrus, as well as more roaches. We have a small force here gathered at the watchtower, though look at all those Zerglings. And Grey wisely pulled back. Yeah, if those Zerglings had come in, that little force right there would have just bit the dust, they would have gone into pools of blood and been no use to anyone, except to add it to the kill counter for Zubrus. We have some tanks being sieged, and those Zerglings. I don't know why Zubrus actually did that, because as soon as he saw those first tank shells, he should have ran those Zerglings out. Because he doesn't have the +1 armor upgrade, which actually, for those who don't know, the +1 armor itself will, and sorry, I have to scratch my hand, which is why the mouse, or why the screen isn't moving. But the +1 armor will actually allow you to take, I think it's 3 shots from a siege tank. 35. Yeah, I believe it's, no, 2 shots, sorry. It's like 2 shots from a siege tank. And it looks like Grey is pushing out. Will this be, though, to take the gold or actually push out to attack? Because, as you can see here, Zubrus already has the gold, is actually getting it up and running, which will give him a huge boost to his economy. And, well, he's already banking like 4,000 minerals, so needs to work on getting that trust fund down. Another problem I have, something I need to work on. And we have Terran weapon level 2, as well as vehicle weapon level 2 coming in for Grey, with more creep tumors and an extractor coming down for Zubrus. Those queen energy is starting to get high. And finally, we have ground carapace level 1 with 20 more Zerglings and an infestation pit. And Galio reconstitution. Now I have to see, is that? Yeah, let me find the roach warrant. Yes, that is roach speed. And Grey has moved forward. There goes the scan to kill off any creep trimmers. And that is a massive Zergling roach force. Yeah, Grey needed to pull back there, but his army might have gotten cut off, and it looks like it has, and that attacking force will fall to the roaches and Zerglings. So those siege tanks in the back, I really like the siege tank placement right back here. Just like I liked it back here. What it'll do is it'll force your opponent to actually have to go around the corner and coming close to actually engage the siege tanks. And all the while, they're able to shell the opponent. See, level 2 weapons is almost done. We got an expansion going down for Grey with double reactors on something. And we have a 4th expansion going down for, or already down, sorry, for Zubrus. And we have Hive Tech coming up, ladies and gentlemen, which means most likely we are going to see Broodlords, or we are going to see, oh, he's getting his 2nd Evo chamber, or we are going to see Ultralisks. My guess right now is we are probably going to see Ultralisks, just because of the way that this army seems to have been going. He's going very ground heavy. He hasn't got a spire up yet, and so it would be a lot more easier to go for Ultralisk rather than going for Mutilate or throwing down a spire and then upgrading that spire into a greater spire, which is what you need to actually get the Ultralisk. Then you have to bring in Corruptors, then transform Corruptors, and it's really long and kind of painful at times to actually get the Broodlords out. So if you're not already on Hive or Spire Tech and going Spire Tech, like you went Mutiling to start with, you're probably going to go more Ultralisk over Broodlords, but that doesn't mean you won't be going Broodlords. I actually had one game against a Terran where I did go Broodlords, even though I went Roach Hiving. But we do also have an Eco Hatch that had went down. Oh, and we have a Nidus Worm, and yes, we do have an Ultralisk Cavern. And here we go. Grey has taken his 4th and is working on getting that all set up and morph into a planetary fortress. Oh man, I hate